DKOldies is a controversial name that I'm sure needs no introduction. From questionable pricing to allegations of completely non-functional orders, the river of DKOldies hit pieces runs deep. But that's not what we're here for today. It takes a few seconds of Googling to see that DKOldies pricing mostly favors the house more than most sites. But I can also name more than just DKOldies who does this. But with 2.6 million TikTok followers, they do seem to be the hip thing to pick on. But I gotta say, their short videos are kinda cute, and my experience with them has been okay. I only ever bought an NES from them, but it's been kicking for almost 8 years with minimal maintenance. My point is, there's better ways to enjoy this hobby than kneeling to online retailers who hold the aftermarket in a chokehold. I'm Lewis with Retros and Espressos, and today we're going to talk about the best ways to get into retro gaming, with or without emptying your wallet. From local stores to hunting online, the options are limitless. If you like this video, like and subscribe, and tell me about your next retro gaming purchase in the comments. Before we drop $2,000 on Cheetah Men 2, I think it's good to reflect on why we want to do something. I know that my money is well spent when I pop in a new purchase, and I feel the same way the first 3 notes of Long Time by Playboi Carti makes me feel. Nothing has that effect more than a good retro game to me, and that's why I collect. Cause I remember mom cooking in the other room while racing dad on Splashdown Rides Gone Wild, and I remember playing Mario Kart Wii with that cat that I really miss. Maybe this isn't the sentiment you hold at all. Maybe you just want to complete the catalog from your all-time favorite console now that you have adult money. Or maybe you love certain box arts and want to treat your room like a time capsule gallery. Maybe you only want to collect mint, in-the-box games. Maybe you don't even care if the game runs. This sport is about love. So do it how you love it, because no two journeys are the same. And in that, don't forget that it is about the journey. Specifically to me, it's about the hunt. Hypothetically, I could enter severe credit card debt and order like 95% of most retro game catalogs right now. But what's the point? How do I even enjoy all those games? Hunting is the best part. Going to local stores, meeting collectors like yourself, running into that one thing you've been hoping you'd stumble on, or discovering something you completely forgot about. On one of my recent ventures, I stumbled upon a copy of Silent Hill 2, one of my all-time favorite games. I personally prefer picking up all my games in person, and this really isn't the easiest game to come by, especially at a fair price. So, I'm walking around the store and strike up conversation with a couple who noticed me holding the game, and an hour later, we've talked about all of our favorite horror games and our plans for Halloween. I won't bore you with the details, but bonding over dumb old data like this is really special. Anyway, enough about why this hobby is the best. Let's get on about the how. There are a ton of options that you might have not even realized, so hopefully there's something in here applicable to everyone, even if you live in the middle of nowhere, aka the Midwest. My personal favorite is local game stores. Now, your success with this might be region dependent, but I urge you, if you have reasonable means to go and support your local game store, do it. Forget GameStop and the bigwigs, support small businesses. Good game stores are truly ran by the people that do it for the love and deserve the support. Go grab a boba and get lost in a store you've never been in. Wander around, fall in love, I don't know. Buy that sealed copy of Earthbound you've always wanted. You deserve it. My next go-to spot is conventions. Anime and gaming conventions are the spot for this kind of stuff, and some places even have conventions just dedicated to retro gaming. Not just will you have vendors that often have a bit of leeway for negotiation and deal making, but these are often massive social events with tons of stuff to do. So enjoy the day, find some cool games, and have a blast. Next are 3 things I'll group together because I have variable success rate with, and you will too, but are still worth a shot, region dependent. Those 3 being yard sales, thrift stores, and flea markets. For the latter 2, thrift stores and flea markets, I've never personally seen either of these 2 things carry anything more than an absolutely destroyed copy of Spider-Man 2 on the PS2, but are still worth a shot. As for yard sales, I've never ran into a big hit yet, but I often hear tales of some people's greatest finds coming from these. One day I'll get mine. Kind of akin to yard sales, Facebook Marketplace is another hit or miss resource. The hope here, like a yard sale, is to find someone who doesn't really know what they have. Looking up listings like video game can often yield some funny, far undervalued results. But do be careful pursuing these, and always meet in a public place. Also, Marketplace is lowballer central. I have friends with fake burner Facebooks dedicated to lowballing folks. But you didn't get that idea from me. So I do want to keep this video dedicated to physical media, and we all know that you technically can just download like every single game ever right now, but I do think emulation is worth mentioning here, namely these dumb little TikTok devices that I'm seeing everywhere as of late. These things promise hundreds of thousands of every game ever made, and I'm sure they do. I mean, you could technically fit the entire NES library on a 1GB SD card 4 times over. Storage capacity and our means of handling it has come a long way. So I don't doubt that these things can cram 10,000 plus emulated games, which is what you're paying for, basically a hard drive loaded with emulators and a shell with buttons. Me, I need the tactility of the source material, you know what I mean? It's kinda cool having all of that at your fingertip for like $80 if that's your thing, but I just know none of those are gonna recreate how perfectly clicky a Game Boy Advance's shoulder buttons are. As for emulation itself, I don't really care to argue the morals and ethics. Gamers are gonna do what gamers are gonna do. I will say, at the end of the day, it's simple, easy, and free to experience a slice of gaming history at any time you want. And sometimes you don't want to spend $150 on Pokemon XD, and you just want to unwind for 30 minutes with a childhood classic before going back to the chaos. All in all, there's no right way to collect retro games. Just like literally everything in life, you gotta do it your way, and in a way that makes you feel good and happy. As always, this is Lewis with Retros and Espressos. Until next time.